Hey guys, welcome back. So in this video, I'm going to give you guys a full walkthrough of the Queen Mary, which is now a hotel, tourist attraction, and museum located in Long Beach, California. So let's get right on into it. So we flew into California the night before, specifically into Long Beach because we were taking a cruise the very next day. So we chose the Queen Mary specifically because of the location. It is steps away from the port of Long Beach where you will be boarding your cruise ship if your ship is leaving out of there. So I'm going to pause right here for just a second. The round dome that you see, that is where the embarkation process will take place. You can kind of see like the tail fin of the Carnival ship right there. And then the Queen Mary is on the left side. So again, mainly chose this for the convenience. One thing that you need to know is that this is not a luxury 5-star hotel, okay? This is a hotel slash tourist attraction slash museum. So this ship was actually built in the 1930s and it retired in the 60s. So it is permanently docked right here. But again, you don't have to spend the night here. You can just pay for general admission to see the tours and the museums, but don't come here expecting this to be a 5-star hotel. This is maybe a 3-star at best, just from my experience. It is very historic and they have kept a lot of those historical features as well, which is really, really cool. Upon arrival, depending on what you're doing, they will guide you to different areas. So again, we booked this for one night, so they guided us upstairs. These are some of the things that the Queen Mary does have to offer, so feel free to pause, take a look at that. So the check-in process to our room was fairly easy. We did book an interior cabin. It wasn't ready yet, so they did guide us throughout the ship where we could kill time before the room was ready. They do have a digital map, but they also gave us physical copies of the schedule and of a map of the ship. Something else that's really convenient is there is a bus stop located right outside of the Queen Mary, and it takes you to the 10th and Pine area as well as Shoreline Village, and this bus is free. So if you walk downstairs, they will guide you to that area. I have a whole separate video on things to do, things to eat while you're down there, so feel free to check that out, and that video will be linked down below. Right, so back on the ship, as you can see, they do have dining, they have saloons, they have a main hall. There's lots of different things to explore on the ship. Let's get started with the elevators. Elevators are small and they are old. The ones in the front work, the ones in the back are more so historical. Fun fact, the Queen Mary is known for ghost sightings. I did not know this when it was booked. We booked out of convenience. It was kind of last minute, but I guess the Queen Mary is famous for ghost sightings. So make sure you look into that prior to going, because myself and I probably would not have had the best time if we had sighted anything paranormal. Okay, so just keep that in mind prior to booking this ship. So something to note, there is a fitness center on the ship. Now in your room, you do have 2 complimentary bottles of water, but if you do need water refilled and you don't want to purchase any, you can get some from the fitness center since it is open 24/7. for the rest of this video, I'm pretty much just going to give you guys a walkthrough tour of the ship. I'll insert a few comments here and there and give you guys my final opinion at the end. Alright, so we did book an interior cabin, and I have a whole separate video on that will be linked down below, so feel free to check that out if you want a detailed room review. So unfortunately, we weren't able to try out the restaurants that were located on the ship. The menus are listed right here, so feel free to stop and check those out. Our main thing was timing just didn't work out. They do have happy hours throughout the day, so that's something to check out. I did try out the coffee shop, but the morning we were there, like all the systems were down or something, to where the only thing they could make was hot coffee, which is fine because that's what I drink anyways, but they couldn't make specialty coffees that morning. right, so final thoughts. Overall, we enjoyed our stay. It was definitely an experience, okay? For sure, an experience. I think one, the convenience of the location was top tier. Again, just needed it for one night for this cruise. In terms of accessibility, it was a little difficult. My husband did injure his knee right before the trip. So for example, climbing up the steps to get up to this viewing area was a little difficult for him, and there was no elevator that directly came up here. I think the historical aspect of it was really cool too. My husband, he's super into the history of everything. So being able to walk through a lot of the museums that they had, and even just historically being on a cruise ship this old, was really cool experience. I think a drawback was, again, did not know there was paranormal activity that occurs on this ship, so they say. I did not see any, so that's great. But knowing that that's a possibility was just a little for me. I think another thing to keep in mind is the age of this ship, and just to be extra careful when you're walking. There are certain things that can be renovated, certain things that they would like to keep historical. So, for example, walking up to the deck, as you can see, the ground, there were pieces that started to chip. You just have to be extra careful. Do wish that they had more activities. When we were there during the holiday season, and they had like taking pictures with Santa, which was cool, but like they didn't have the live music when we were there. So look at the schedule beforehand just to see what they offer and see if you're interested. I do want to also note the views were top tier. So if you're into sunsets like I am, if you're into a good view, this is the spot to see everything. It is absolutely gorgeous. So overall, we did have a good time. In terms of convenience and location, 10 out of 10. Would I stay here again for the price? I don't know. Not too sure. For the convenience, yes. I think it just kind of depends on the vibe that we're going for and where we're staying. I will also note the bellhop was amazing in terms of helping us with our suitcases across the parking lot to the cruise terminal, because again, my husband did injure his knee and we didn't want to deal with that on the way over there. Overall, great trip. Feel free to check out my other videos on Carnival Firenze. And also, again, I do have the room to the Queen Mary link down below as well. So thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys next time.